The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Welcome to Thespian Talk, everybody. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, and my co-hosts with me this week are the Cat.
Hello, everyone.
And Erin Mills, a.k.a. DubiousKhan.
Hello, a word which here means hello.
Yes.
Billy, you better cite your sources for that one, because I don't believe you.
Yeah. Cite your source. Everybody, there are some things where you like your Tumblr posts or whatever, sure, cite your sources. But at the same time, can nobody ever do a Google search anymore? Because there is merit in both, honestly. I mean, citing your sources, yeah, you don't have to go through a Google search, then shows the person that knows what they're talking about. But then you do a Google search, then you could say, hey, I found this out, without anybody's help. So I guess it's situational, depending.
I was just making a joke. I didn't realize I was pulling out a soapbox for you to get on.
I didn't either, but I took it, didn't I?
You took it and peddled that on the street.
Yes, and now that I'm done with the soapbox, I will give it to Diamanda Hagen to eat. Oh, lordy. So we'll start off. We got to start off with a bit of sad news, just if for nothing else to get it out of the way. This week we lost Christopher Lee, talented, I'm gonna say legendary actor.
Yeah, that would be appropriate. Probably, AKA the most badass human being who ever lived that nobody knew about until a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's see. He was Dracula. He was Saruman, right? In the Lord of the Rings.
Saruman, yeah. Saruman, Death, in several Discworld productions.
I love his death.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been ragging on the 6-episode animated adaptation of Soul Music, but it's worth it just for the last episode. If you ever wanted to hear Christopher Lee as Death going, "Oh, bugger!"
And of course, some people also remember him from the Star Wars prequels. Darth Tyrannus, Lord Count Dooku. I was about to say Lord Dooku. No, it's Count.
Count Dooku, the most unfortunately named villain ever.
Yes, which is why I let off with Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah.
Because that sounds infinitely more badass.
It does. He sounds like a dinosaur.
Yes.
Sith dino.
Yes. Well, I mean, he was pretty old to begin with, so,
Poor man. Oh, God.
But,
and lest we forget, the man had a wonderful singing voice.
Yes.
For metal albums, which is amazing.
Oh,
yes.
For other things, too.
Mm-hmm.
Many other things.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most interesting...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the most interesting thing about Christopher Lee was that, he killed Nazis and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact that, it was just one of those things that was just amazing. Just apparently, yes, he was part of what was officially known in Winston Churchill's Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And it's just like... Spoonie said this best on Twitter this week. It's like, that is some chilling shit right there.
Yeah.
If that doesn't freak you out a little bit,
yeah,
they're going to have to make a movie now. Now that he's dead, they're going to have to make a movie.
Well, that's the problem. Apparently, most of the stuff that he did for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is still classified.
Man, after this much time? Well, it's okay because it would be based on a true story with no actual factual anything anyway. So... They're going to need to make a movie.
Yeah. Just for the title alone. You don't even need to title it anything but the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah. It would be amazing.
It would. I would go see it. I would see it.
It's like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, except with Christopher Lee.
Yes.
And not sucking.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go. I even heard tales of, I want to say, was it on one of the Lord of the Rings movies where he had to actually tell somebody, I know what it sounds like.
Yeah, Peter Jackson told him to imagine what it would be like to be stabbed in the back. He says what it would sound like if someone was stabbed in the back. He said, I don't need to. I've heard
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was the deleted scene where Grima Wormtongue, I can talk today, I swear, actually stabbed Saruman, and Peter Jackson was like, no, that's not what people sound like when they get stabbed. And Christopher Lee was like, look,
Yes,
I
they do
know what they sound
sound
like.
like when they get stabbed.
Yeah, I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah, I've made people make that noise. Thank you very much,
Yes.
sir. I'm sorry if we're going to do that. Peter,
Yeah.
I made people make that noise. I know what it sounds like. Thank you very much. Now you just waddle on back to your chair and let's get on with the scene, shall we?
And well, I'm sure he had to take a quick detour on his way back to the chair, because I mean, if I was in Peter Jackson's place at that point, I would have shat myself.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, I will sit right back down after I've changed my shorts.
Yes.
Maybe someone, assistant? Yes. Yeah. Get me a coffee and a new pair of pants, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Friend, do you think you could manage a cup of coffee and a change of clothes?
Oh, speaking of things that also cause cause people in general to need a change of shorts, definitely in happier news and brighter news now. We've got the new Smash Brothers DLC coming out, or actually has come out the same day it was fucking announced, and everybody's losing their shit, including me. Because we've got fan favorites from previous Super Smash Brothers games coming back, and we have Ryu from Street Fighter joining the Super Smash Brothers roster. Like, wow, they're pulling it out, and E3 hasn't even started. And I'm using that to lead into our inbox mail question, actually, because it is video game related. And recently, it's been announced that Fallout 4 has been announced, and there's a trailer out and everything. And so Lee, she of the kitty who lives close to our kitty, by the way, she sends this. Are you or any of your co-hosts excited for the Fallout 4 and the new Fallout 4 and the new trailer out? I personally love the wasteland and cannot wait to be able to explore post-apocalyptic Boston. Any thoughts on it? I'm really excited that they've managed to make the setting appear more colorful while staying true to the lore and the world of past games. What about you? My thoughts on it, I really haven't gotten into the Fallout games. I've tried the first two. They didn't appeal to me. I eventually want to try and get 3 because I've seen gameplay footage of 3. I've seen like Spazfox. I think he did Fallout. I want to say he did Fallout 3 at one point, and that one looks fun. And I might give Fallout 4 a try if I get into like 3 in New Vegas or whatever. But so far it looks all right. Do either of you have any thoughts on it, or?
I have never played a single Fallout game in my life.
Yeah.
I have not had any interest in doing so. I don't play games on the PC. I find it too frustrating and annoying.
Yeah.
So.
And Kat, I assume you probably are in the same boat.
I really liked their last album. I thought it was Fallout, not Fallout Boy. Oh, gotcha. No, I'm actually, this probably shouldn't come as a shock to most people who have listened to me on any other show that I'm on, but I'm actually not a gamer.
Yeah.
I have like a copy of Skyrim that I've played like 10 hours of, and that's about it. So yeah, I've never played Fallout. I can tell you where it is at Best Buy, and I can tell you how many we have of every single copy, but I have never played it. On the other hand, the idea of a post-apocalyptic Boston does sound sort of appealing.
Yeah, because it's like, when you have post-apocalyptic, where do they normally place it? Someplace like L.A.,
New York, everything
Chicago.
New York.
Yeah. So Boston...
Or generally speaking out west, because immediately you say post-apocalyptic to most people, they immediately think Mad Max, they think desert, they think stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's definitely different, and like I said, I'll check it out. I want to try out 3 in New Vegas first, see if I like them, and if I like them enough, I'll give Fallout 4 a try personally. Oh, so with that is the inbox note for this week. Hope we did all right. Hopefully we answered it okay.
People, send us better questions, will you? For crying out loud. Last week it was how to speak Welsh. This week it's about, PC gaming, and it's like, that's great, but not everybody who does a podcast is into PC gaming.
No. Well, to be fair, she didn't know, so,
That's true. I'm just saying.
We need, like, levels of questions that you would find on Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL, like, colors that rhyme with purple. This is the kind of level of questions we need.
Oh, but she also actually left a comment on the last episode on its YouTube entry, and she actually took the idea of the long ass Welsh name, and she bets that none of us can pronounce the name of the lake with the longest name in the world. And
Did she send it to us so that we can look at it?
Yes, she did.
Or would we have to Google that?
No, she got it. She left it in the comment, and I'm gonna give this a shot on the air because I am that much of a glutton for punishment. Gesundheit.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. Lake Chargoganamanchuagagchaubagamaguga.
No. It's Chargar Gothicon, the beast that hath no name.
Are you sure this isn't a Pokemon?
I'm pretty sure.
Chargogamagamagog, I choose you.
Oh god, if that were a Pokemon, I don't think kids would.
All right, let me get this thing there. Chargaga Gagamon Chauga Gog Chaug Bonagunga Mog. Do wackadoo, ting tang, walla walla, bing bang.
Yes. and she says that people have actually written songs about this lake.
Of course they have.
Because they don't rhyme.
No. Oh, I don't. I'd have to look it up myself, but holy shit.
Oh my god. Chargog, Gog, Chargogog, Gog, Manchauga, Gog, Chow, Bunagungamagog. Oh my god.
And yet, I think you probably got the closest to us out of the three.
Probably.
This is absolutely
yours at least sounded like an actual word.
Yes.
I think if I tried, like if I read it over a couple of times, we don't have time, but actually after this I'm gonna Google how to pronounce this 2,700 million letter word, and then see if somebody on Google can tell me, because that's ridiculous. But I feel like challenge accepted. I'm gonna figure this out by any means necessary.
We will enlist the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare if we have to.
Yes.
We will kill people if that's what it takes to pronounce this word.
Oh yeah. So with that, let's head over to our shout-outs. I've actually got one. It's a little bit of semi self-promotion. The only reason is it's because it's somebody that's on the site. Magic Steve actually released a brand new episode the day we're recording this, and he went and he checked out a magic shop in his area, which looks really fun. They actually also have their own website that you can go to, and if there it is, it now works. His video is on Wonderground Magic, which the first time I saw it, my little bit of German kicked in, and I started trying to call it Wunderground. Wunderground. But and of course in the description he claims it's a haunted magic shop. And if you know us in our style of humor, I think you can see how that'll turn out. But it has some good cameos in there too. Some people I certainly didn't expect on the video. So even though he messaged me and told me about it the night before, still didn't expect it though. But it's a lot of fun. Go check it out. Again, it's on the site rtgomer.com. By the time this goes up, it should be maybe 4th or 5th down from the top by the time this is up. Either way, there'll be a link in the description anyway, so if you don't see it up there, you can still go and check it out. Erin, do you have any shout-outs?
I've actually got two, because I just thought of one while we were talking about Christopher Lee earlier, but I'll talk about the one I was going to do first, which I also discovered today. Mm-hmm. There is a musician who goes by the alias of Mando Pony. Now, don't panic. Nobody panic. Yeah. He started off he is a professional musician, but he also is a massive My Little Pony fan, and that's a big deal. Again, nobody panic. Recently, however, he started branching out into doing songs based on video games. He's done a couple of Five Nights at Freddy's songs. He's done stuff for like Star Fox and whatnot. And the one I'm going to introduce today, he has released a little while ago. It is one for Splatoon, which honestly, this got my attention mostly because if there's ever been a single game which would actually get me to buy a Wii U if I had the money for it, it actually does look like it would be Splatoon, because it does look like a lot of fun.
It does.
I can't afford a Wii U, so that day will probably never come. But It's good to know. So he's done a song called "I Ink, Therefore I Am," or "Do the Squid." So
Nice.
I will be that will be the first shout out that you'll see from me. The link is I've just sent the link to Gomer. Now, since we were talking about Christopher Lee, and I mentioned his wonderful singing voice, and everybody talks about the metal albums he did, but nobody talks about a small film he did in 1983 for an Australian production, which he did specifically because it was a musical. I am talking about the film The Return of Captain Invincible.
Ooh.
Which tells the story of washed-up hero Captain Invincible, played by Alan Arkin, who is called out of retirement when his nemesis, Mr. Midnight, played by Christopher Lee, comes out of hiding with a goal of basically racially cleansing New York City.
Oh dear.
It is a musical. It is deranged, and it features Christopher Lee singing several songs, which are amazing and beautiful and wonderful, including one song which was in fact written by the Rocky Horror Picture Show's Richard O'Brien, called "Name Your Poison," which is nothing but an unending series of drink name puns.
That
Nice.
sounds amazing.
It just starts off, "Might I say that I'm old-fashioned, très van ordinaire." It goes off like that. Fortunately, some enterprising soul, and this is apparently escaped YouTube's Content ID, has uploaded the whole film to YouTube, so I will be giving that link to Gomer right now.
Alrighty.
So check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's not a high-quality movie in anything, but it's just so delightfully insane that you just have to enjoy it.
Sweet. Alrighty. So, Kat, do you have anything, or are we keeping the running gag of you not having one going?
It's not even a running gag at this point. It's just sort of an expectation that I will not have anything that I want to promote until a convention comes around. So give me about another 3 weeks, and then I'll have something to say.
There you go. Alrighty, so with that'll be our shout-outs for this week. And now it's time for the news. And this first one comes out of Beech Grove, Indiana. By the way, Beech Grove is a suburb of Indianapolis. And I've been to Beech Grove. I've been through Beech Grove. In fact, one of my friends actually does her shopping in Beech Grove, which makes this a little scarier. Police in Indiana are investigating after video of a disturbing fight turns up online. Officers say the fight happened at the Beech Grove, Indiana Walmart on Thursday.
Because of course it did.
Of course, it's a Walmart. The two women exchanged words, and then things quickly escalated. Now, that seems normal-ish compared to, not fighting. But here's where it gets interesting, at least for me. A 6-year-old boy is shown in the video getting involved in the fight, throwing kicks and punches. At one point, the boy hit one of the women with a shampoo bottle. The brawl lasts nearly 5 minutes, and Walmart security is not shown in the video.
Yeah, because, since Walmart security consists of, 87-year-old guys standing at the doorway.
Yeah, that's all there is. It's the greeter patrol. There you go. No, they do have actual security, but I think they all kind of stay in the back until they're needed, for the most part. I haven't seen them up front in years.
Well, generally they have plain clothes, pretty much, is how it works.
Yeah. So this 5-minute brawl, and this little boy gets in there. I could just see why the little boy would get involved, because she's hurting mommy, and I'm gonna try and protect mommy. So the little boy, as disturbing as his part of this whole fight is, I'm imagining he's getting involved just to try and protect his mama, and that's really kind of sweet. But the two women that started the whole thing, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're in a Walmart, and you've got.
Excuse me. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I have just been handed a notice from our legal team of ampersand, semicolon, hyphen, and bracket. A cease and desist order has been released by Radio Dead Air for using that phrase. It's the copyright Radio Dead Air Productions. Something about rampaging rabid hippos being sent after us for our souls. You might want to consider cease and desisting that particular phrase. Thank you.
Well, then I will amend that to say, what the fuck?
There you go.
Yeah. Because I know Josh Hadley is not nearly as litigious. Nah. All in good fun, though.
We joke.
Yeah.
With love.
It's all in good fun.
Jokes. We got jokes here. Jokes for days.
Yes. Oh, so goddamn these women. I don't even see where it says why they started fighting.
No.
It's like, and I'm assuming this is around. He said he got a bottle of shampoo. My first impression. Bear in mind, I haven't seen the video, but my first thought would be, okay, this happened in the health and beauty section. So were they just fighting over shampoo, or was
we have
there
no
something
details.
else?
It could be anything. We don't even know if these two women actually knew each other and something happened or what. Who knows?
Yeah. So the two women, fuck y'all. You could have taken it outside.
But wait. Go ahead.
We don't have enough details to know what happened. This could have been a fight for the fate of the world, and we would never know.
This is true.
Maybe they were both spies.
Oh.
I'm going to give the people of Walmart the benefit of the doubt. Good. Jokes. We got jokes for days.
But still, the little boy, I can't hold anything against him. He's just trying to protect his mama, and that's really sad.
Well, the police apparently can. Looking at the last paragraph here, Beach Grove police are exploring whether to file charges. Officers told local station WXIN they questioned the boy's home environment and are considering whether to involve the Department of Child Services in their investigation.
Yeah, I can understand that. Obviously, the charges would be against the mothers, I'm sure. I don't think they would charge a little 6-year-old for it. But calling DCF on this, that's understandable. Yeah.
Seems a little excessive to me, personally.
Yeah.
If the kid got involved in the fight, fine. If the kid, I don't know. It just, again, we have no context. Again, we have not seen the video in question, so we don't know what. So we, the hosts of Thespian Talk, do not have as many details as we possibly can on this. But I don't know. I guess it would depend on the severity of the brawl in question.
Yeah, and to be fair, when I do say the DCF being called is a good idea, at least as something precautionary. That's it's always good to be safe. Better safe than sorry, especially when it comes to kids. If this is just like a one-time deal and the kid's home life is not too bad, then hey, no harm, no foul, whatever. Yeah. But just to be safe, I would think. Oh, but we'll move from that. I don't.
And now it's time for more stupidity from the Republican Party.
Oh, not necessarily just Republicans. We're talking the fucking Catholic League. Hey, I haven't seen these guys on here in a while. Catholic League President Bill Donohue said this week that Catholics did not have to follow Pope Francis's teachings on climate change because God never specifically expressed an opinion about it.
God never specifically expressed an opinion about the church having $8 billion in cash lying around in just decoration alone either.
Yeah. Republican presidential candidate Rick Santorum recently argued that the Pope should leave the science to the scientists instead of urging lawmakers to address climate change when he visits the U.S. later this year. Fox News host Chris Wallace later pointed out to Santorum that the Pope has a degree in chemistry. Oops! Donohue, one of the church's chief conservative defenders, told Newsmax on Monday that the Pope only had authority to speak on matters of faith and morals. Says fucking who?
Yeah, it's like you don't give up all the other education you've had in your life just because you suddenly become Pope.
No, you do not. In fact, I would argue that you would use that in your position as Pope. And also, Mr. Donohue, who the fuck do you think you are? The Pope has more power than you, asshole.
Here's another thought. Is global warming a strictly scientific thing, or could that be a moral topic to talk about? Because do we not owe it morally to future generations to protect the environment?
Not when there's money to be made.
I could argue that, yeah, you know what? It is a moral issue to take, because there is an entire generation of people destroying the environment. They have an obligation to try and fix that, or it could be argued at least, Like, I think you could, if you really wanted to, make it into a moral argument and provide moral guidance. And fuck anybody who doesn't think that Catholics should listen to the Pope.
Yeah, because, see,
That's your guy. That's your guy. He's the one who's got your back. If you're saying, you know what, it's sort of like the Bible. We're just going to pick and choose what we want to listen to from the Pope, just as we pick and choose what we want to listen to from the Bible.
Well, speaking of picking and choosing, listen to this wonderful, wonderful example of doublethink.
There you go.
Here we go. Once you get, quote, excuse me, let me clarify that, quote, once you get beyond that, can you speak to other issues? Of course you can speak to other issues. But I don't care whether it's Pope Francis or his predecessors or his successors someday. Once you get outside the domain of faith and morals, be careful, Donohue warned the Pope. Because, yeah, the Pope needs warning on his faith and morals. Be careful, and be careful particularly when you get into the weeds and get very specific. For example, are we God's stewards? Are we supposed to take care of the earth? Of course. That's out of the Old Testament. It's out of the New Testament. It's totally unobjectionable.
Yeah, and
you just raised the objection.
Yeah, and not to mention, if taking care of the earth is out of your Bible, then with climate change and the fact that, we're basically destroying the place, you're failing! You're failing at your own religion!
Oh my god, we need the Red Skull in here so bad to scream, you are failing.
Yes.
You are failing!
So much fail. But when it came to...
Go ahead.
But when it came to climate change, Donohue predicted that Catholics would reject the Pope's authority and simply view him as a very nice man. Catholics will offer him respect, but in terms of accepting what he has to say as guiding their thoughts, no, it's not going to happen, he added. We know, for example, that even on issues as the death penalty, for example, or on gun control, or on helping the poor, there's a lot of different issues where Catholics can disagree on. Yeah, according to Donohue, the only traditional issues like objections to abortion and euthanasia were quote-unquote non-negotiable for Catholics, although polls have showed that most Catholics worldwide think abortion should be legal. No one has ever said that air pollution is intrinsically evil, Donohue added, so people need to get up to speed on this. Let's see, air pollution. You inhale the shit long enough, you gonna die before you're supposed to.
All right, no, I'm going to concede this. He has the point. Air pollution is not intrinsically evil. Why? Because air pollution is not fucking sentient.
There's that one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Air pollution is not good or evil. It just is.
Yeah.
The effects, we know what they are. Okay? You know what? Fine. I'll give you that one, you jackass. But Jesus Christ. Just because...
People who dump air pollution into the planet while taking no responsibility and then getting huge tax deductions, that's intrinsically evil.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point. Air pollution itself, not evil. Bad for you, yeah, but not evil in and of itself. But still, yeah. To somebody you get somebody primitive enough and you see people walking into a big cloud of smoke, they don't know what the fuck it is, and they come out dead. Those primitive people are going to see it as evil. Those people might see it as that, even though we know that it's not in and of itself evil. It's the people who just let it go off unchecked. Those are the evil ones. If I'm making sense.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Yeah. So
I'm very tired of people like this.
Yeah.
Very tired.
Yeah. So,
but we're not done with them.
No, we're not. We are not. Oh God. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of evil people and evil corporations, which are not people, fucking up the environment. I've long since heard, and by long since I mean in the last 6 months, heard that what was it, Nestle that keeps on pumping out and selling water from California, even though California's in the midst of a drought, and all of that good stuff, and all the fracking going on out there. Yeah, those people need to be slapped with probably a fish, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that to the fish, but California State Assemblywoman Shannon Grove, a Republican, has an idea. She hinted last week that if the drought-stricken state would adopt laws restricting abortions like Texas, God would make it rain. Because, sure, why not? Texas was in a long period of drought until Governor Perry signed the fetal pain bill, RH Reality Check reports, she said at the California pro-life legislative banquet held in Sacramento last Monday. It rained that night. Now God has his hold on California. What did I just say about the corporations?
The sound you just heard was me giving up all hope on humanity forever.
Yeah, it'll do that.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
It's like, no, God's not good. Even well, you know what? I'll give you. Let's say that God is keeping a close eye on things, or at the very least watching everything. If he hadn't done anything by now, I'm pretty sure he's meaning for California to go through this drought, and I don't think the rate of abortion is really going to affect that. I don't think. I could be wrong. Bear in mind,
this is one of the most astoundingly stupid leaps in logic I've ever heard.
Yeah. Grove, who represents...
I'm pretty sure I know some fairly hardcore conservatives who would look at this and go, that woman's an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Grove, who represents Kern County in the Central Valley and serves on the Assembly's Agriculture Committee, brought a Bible to the podium and held it above her head before launching into a fiery speech at the Grand Hotel. Okay. Am I the only one imagining her holding it up like Link from The Legend of Zelda? Gets up there. Da-da-da-da!
I'm sorry, but how is this person on the agricultural committee? How is this person on any sort of committee that has anything to do that is linked at all with the environment and science? Because if you don't understand how droughts work and why they happen, then you probably shouldn't be on an agricultural committee.
No, you shouldn't.
And if you bring a Bible into any kind of committee meeting, you shouldn't be allowed to be in charge of anything unless it's for your fucking church.
This wasn't a committee meeting. This was for the pro-life legislative banquet.
Oh, well, that makes sense because Anyway,
Yeah.
I won't say something I might regret later.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, just...
Oh,
God.
wow. Just, wow. Oh. And you... like you were saying, Erin, about like conservatives kind of, saying, yeah, you're an idiot. In response to Grove's fire and brimstone take on the drought, California Pro-Life Council Chairman Brian Johnston seemed to distance himself. It was never said by me or the California Pro-Life Council, he told RH Reality Check. So, yeah. Even he's like, no, you stay over there. You can bring the Bible down now.
I just don't understand why there are so many people in politics these days who think science is negotiable. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, because Neil deGrasse Tyson says science does its thing whether you believe it in it or not. I know I paraphrased a bit, but
Yeah. That's the general gist of it. Science is whether you like it or not. No, science does not have all the answers. But you know what science is doing? Science isn't saying, oh, well, then it's God's will. Science is saying, we don't know why it does this. Well, we'll keep looking until we find out.
Yeah. That's the whole point of science, is to learn. You can't learn if you just attribute everything to God and go along your merry little goddamn way. It's just not going to happen.
God damn.
Yeah. Oh.
Can we just go to some slightly less painful stupidity?
Yes.
Or at least less mentally painful stupidity.
Yes, less painful for us at least. A Colorado Springs man told investigators he shot himself in the foot Wednesday night because he wanted to know what it felt like, according to police. See, that man was doing some science right there.
Yeah, there you go. Bad science, but science nonetheless.
Yes.
I want to know what it feels like to be shot in the foot. Ergo, I will experiment by shooting myself in the foot.
Yes. Adam Hirtle, Hirtle. I swear I did not make up the name. He is suspected of prohibited use of weapons, reckless endangerment, and child abuse in the shooting. Wait, what?
Yeah, that I'm not getting.
I don't know.
Especially given all the information we have here, right? That there's no kid mentioned anywhere in this story.
Yeah. Sergeant James Sokolik, a police spokesman, said Hirtle was served a summons in the case and released. Officers were called to St. Francis Hospital about 7 p.m. on reports of a man injured in an accidental gun discharge. Hirtle, however, told the police the shooting was completely on purpose. He told an officer he shot himself in his garage. Hirtle stated he took his boot off and shot it, then placed the boot back on his foot and then intentionally shot himself in the foot. The police say he did not sustain life-threatening injury, nor was anybody else injured. So why the child abuse charge? Reckless endangerment, I can see. Well, even then, if nobody else is around,
prohibited use of weapons. Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah,
because I think Colorado, it's it's a self-defense law. You can shoot the gun in self-defense, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's like, he should have shouted, "The foot's coming right for us!" That's what he should have done.
It's gonna kill everyone I love.
Yes, also known as the South Park defense, or at least that's what I call it. Oh wow, but child, how?
No idea.
I mean, the man's
no
30.
idea.
A kid in the house or something.
Yeah.
See, this goes back to what I was saying about DCF. It's like there's just about DCF being involved in cases like this. It seems like more and more. It's like if there's a kid even tangentially revolved, like, oh, DCF. It's like, why? The kid had nothing to do with what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you can be somewhat concerned if there was a kid in the house,
sure.
and their dad decided to shoot himself in the foot for no good reason, but.
But it's just yeah. So it wouldn't be a show if we didn't hit Florida. Take a shot.
Welcome back to Florida, where
Yes.
stupidity runs like water.
Oh, indeed.
I will get us a tag song for Florida at some point. I will. I'll keep trying.
That explains why my bottled water tastes funny.
We can use what the fuck's tagline for Florida. America's punchline.
Yeah, but I'd rather we have our own thing. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so out of Orlando, an Osceola County woman accused of threatening to hire a hitman to kill Florida Governor Rick Scott has now been...
Please tell me she's been given the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Well, no, she's been charged with threatening to kill President Barack Obama.
Oh, well, put a hold on that Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Ruba Kandakaji. I can barely pronounce it, I guess. Of Celebration was indicted Thursday, the Department of Justice said. Kandanji, 37, made headlines after the Florida Department of Law Enforcement says she called the Osceola County Sheriff's Office in late March and made threatening remarks saying she wanted to be deported to her native country of Jordan. "I'm going to hire a hitman and kill whomever I can kill," she told the dispatcher. "Why? Because it will deport me to my homeland directly." No, that's not how it works. "Your trash governor is torturing me here," she continued. "I'm forced to live here. I hope that this call is recorded. Pass it to your governor. Tell him she is hiring a hitman." Federal prosecutor said when investigators went to arrest Kadanji, she reiterated her threats against Governor Scott and also said she wanted to kill the president. If convicted of making threats against the president, she faces a maximum of 5 years in federal prison. You know, if you wanted to be deported, there are better ways of doing that. I mean, yeah, threatening to kill a government official might work, but you're more than likely going to just sit in a prison in America.
And then maybe be deported afterward.
Yeah, maybe. So you could have, she could have another 5 years here in prison, and I say a lot of things. I have a lot of negative towards Rick Scott, but I don't want the man dead. Jeebus.
I mean, if he happened to slip and fall on a patch of ice or something, I'm not gonna sleep over it. But
in Florida,
ice.
I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
or if somebody spat on the Capitol House steps or whatever, Mm-hmm.
I mean, his heart is so cold and frozen. I just assume he freezes everything he touches.
If there happened to be a spontaneous leak in his brake lines, or
yeah. Which, by the way, nobody do this, please.
We're just saying, if it happened, we wouldn't lose sleep over that guy.
Sorry, I'm being handed another our legal team. The producers of Thespian Talk, along with the legal firm of ampersand, semicolon, hyphen, and bracket, would like to reiterate that the host's comments are meant to be taken in a facetious and joking manner and are not direct advocation of any sort of illegal activity toward Governor Rick Scott or the state of Florida or any government official at all. Any assumptions on the part is purely that of the listener and bears no reference to reality whatsoever.
Exactly. But yeah, it's just, wow. You want to be deported? Okay, that's good for you. You want to go back to your home country? That's fine.
Probably
That's just
can't
not the way
go.
to do it.
Just go, man. Just
Well,
go.
she says she's trapped here, so odds are she can't afford it.
Yeah. So you know what we
He's
have.
basically, if I'm reading between the lines here, she's only making these threats to try to get deported so she can get the hell out of Florida because apparently she does not like Rick Scott or his policies at all. And
Yeah.
apparently since threatening the governor didn't work, she went to the next highest level she could think of, which was the president.
Yeah, went over several levels, but yeah. Just that's how it works. I mean, have you never heard of GoFundMe Lady? I mean, that's a thing. I'm sure people would throw money at you, especially considering let's see, considering your name and your country of origin. I'm pretty sure you could throw it in front of a bunch of racists and they'll give you the money to get the hell out of here.
Damn, I was going to make that same comment. I was like, there's got to be enough Islamophobes who are just going to go, oh, a Jordanian, get out of my country, you Islamic Sharia law, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and even just getting out of Florida, she's in Central Florida. That's a good, I think, 3 or 4 hour drive just to get to the next state. So, unless she's thumbing it, she just can't get out of Florida that easily. Like you were saying, it's hard for her to get out. Oh. But that's it for the news. We do have a little bit of extra time, and I'm actually prepared.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I am prepared, because this has actually been something I have had sitting in my thing for a little while, just in the rainy day, just in case we don't have the thing that's not really time-sensitive file.
It is literally raining outside my door right now.
Oh, you probably got our leftovers then, because it was raining here yesterday.
We get it before you do, dude.
Oh. Well. We'll
I am further west. I will get
true.
the rain before you do, unless your rain comes up from the south.
There you go. Oh, okay, so, but, people, we're talking about Florida, and, crazy as people are, people do come to Florida for vacations and such. I mean, we have Panama City, although maybe not so much after Panama City Beach passes their whole thing on alcohol consumption in bars and everything.
Basically, Panama City's reached the same point Fort Lauderdale and Daytona have.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, we need...
where the money ain't worth the hassle anymore.
Exactly. And hey, you know what? They've got Pier Park, they've got places like that. They'll be fine without a few extra spring breakers. Trust me. So there's that, there's the beaches. You got Disney, you got Universal. People come down here for vacations all the time. Just don't live here if you can help it.
No, don't.
So, with that in mind, a vacation, and I don't quite remember where I grabbed this from, but I'm pretty sure it's not very hard to find on the internet. A vacation is supposed to be your time away from the crazy. If you come to Florida, that's going to be a big fail.
Especially if you go to Miami.
Yes. Remind me to never travel to any of the same vacation spots these people have booked. I'll take that upgrade and trade you a bus tour of, oh my god, these people are nuts. Bear in mind, that is not my words, that is the words of this particular author. And they list 19 different things.
You want to give us a link there, Chief?
Unfortunately, there is no link.
Okay.
But I do have it set up on my thing. I really should have done this one earlier, but I also had no idea we were going to run that fast to the news.
Yeah.
So that's okay. For you guys, it's towards the bottom. So... But these are actual complaints received from dissatisfied customers by Thomas Cook Vacations based on a Thomas Cook ABTA survey. So number 1. I think it should be explained in the brochure that the local convenience store does not sell proper biscuits like custard creams or ginger nuts. And I had totally the wrong accent for that.
Yes, you did.
But that's okay. Depending on where you go, you're not gonna... if you're getting a brochure to say Georgia, you're not gonna have proper biscuits, buddy. I'm sorry, and you're not gonna have the ginger nuts or custard creams. It's just not gonna do that, unless the guy working is a ginger dude. Then you can have some ginger nuts. Just saying. Oh, number 2. It's lazy of the local shopkeepers in Puerto Vallarta to close in the afternoons, which Puerto Vallarta, I want to say that's in Mexico or some Spanish-speaking country. I often needed to buy things during siesta time. This should be banned. Siesta time is nap time, and it's a part of their culture. You should know this going in.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if the brochure had something about that, or at least gave you a way to find out this information.
Or, Google.
That works too. Yes. Number 3. On my holiday to Goa in India, I was disgusted to find that almost every restaurant served curry. I don't like spicy food.
In India? That's insane.
Spicy food in India? Are you mad?
You must be. Oh my God, that's like going up to Canada and trying to find a place that doesn't serve maple syrup, or like Wisconsin that you can't find a place that sells something with cheese. Oh, just I've probably bombed on both of those. So do either one of you want to take the next 2 or 3? Just kind of change it up. Okay.
Number 4. We booked an excursion to a water park, but no one told us we had to bring our own swimsuits and towels. We assumed it would be included in the price.
Wow. I also assumed that you would know exactly what size my wife and I wear, and the children as well.
Yeah. Oh God.
Sorry, British people. I swear we're not making fun of you.
I don't know if it's British. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I was just doing stereotypical snooty type thing. I was going more for, upper New England kind of thing.
Which always sounds like British.
Speaking of swimming, the beach was too sandy. We had to clean everything when we returned to our room.
Oh no, it's sandy. It's coarse and it gets into everything.
What did you think the beach was made out of?
And according to the next person, it's also the wrong color. We found the sand was not like the sand in the brochure. Your brochure shows the sand is white, but it was actually more yellow in color.
Wow. Let's turn this into a race issue if we can.
Oh, God. I do want to say that any pictures taken of Panama City beaches, lovely beaches, are going to be the same color in the brochure and in person. Unless a whole bunch of people decided to get together and piss on the beach at the same time. Which, then...
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Kat, do you want to take the next few?
Let's see, where were we?
Number 7.
Number 7? They should not allow topless sunbathing at the beach. It was very distracting for my husband, who just wanted to relax.
Lady, he didn't want to relax.
As soon as he heard there was topless sunbathing.
Yeah, I think it was taking all he could to just, we'll let you.
It was very distracting for me, who had to keep reprimanding my husband to relax.
Yeah, relax. They're just tits. You can get some when we get back to the hotel room.
But they're your tits. I want her tits.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8. No one told us there would be fish in the water. The children were scared.
You're at a beach.
Unless you're either at a beach. If
oh my God.
The lake, there's going to be fucking fish.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a pool, there will always be fish.
Yeah.
Oh my God. By the way, I'm also going to complain because the water was wet. Fuck that. Nobody told me the water was wet.
And nobody told me that there would be inordinate amounts of salt in the water at the beach, by the way.
Oh my God. Okay, number 9. Although the brochure said there was a fully equipped kitchen, there was no egg slicer in the drawers.
Yes, there is. It's called a fucking knife.
Yeah. It's like, who uses an egg slicer?
Snotty rich people who probably have other people cook for them all the time.
God damn it, rich people. Yeah, it is motherfuckers. All right, I'll take the next few. Number 10. We went on holiday to Spain and had a problem with the taxi drivers as they were all Spanish.
What? No, that's ridiculous. I fully expected to go to Spain and have a bunch of English-speaking, like, Americans. Or maybe they expected, like, some sort of Indians or something.
I don't know. When I go to holiday to Spain, I insist that all my taxi drivers be Norwegian.
Sure, why not? No. See,
And
people.
over here is the Plaza del Sol. I apologize to any Norwegians who might actually have.
Oh dear. Oh. Alright, so number 11. The roads were uneven and bumpy, so we could not read the local guidebook during the bus ride to the resort. Because of this, we were unaware of the many things that would have made our holiday more fun.
You
How
couldn't
about
read
not-
in advance?
Or read at the resort.
Or read somewhere not on the bus?
Yeah. There's nothing that would have stopped you from reading it elsewhere. Just not. And I've been on some bumpy roads before, and my eyes are not the best as they are. As Kat can probably tell you, my glasses are thick like Coke bottle glasses. That's how bad my eyes are. Yeah, I don't think I would have much of a problem reading on a bumpy road. Much.
Yeah.
I can stabilize myself enough there. So, but, if these people can't, then, before or after. Like we were saying. Number 12. It took us 9 hours to fly home from Jamaica to England. It took the Americans only 3 hours to get home. This seems unfair.
This is also well, sir, we apologize that you feel that's unfair. However, there is a little thing called geography.
Yeah.
I don't study geography. I have a maid who does it for me.
Yeah, well, you had to fly across an ocean, madam.
Yes. All right, Erin, you want to take the next few?
I compared the size of our one-bedroom suite to our friend's three-bedroom, and ours was significantly smaller.
Well, no shit.
What?
Speaking as a former desk clerk, that's the point where I would look at you and say, yes, and?
Well, we wanted one bigger. You have only
It's
one bedroom.
Bedroom.
Yeah. Just.
I love this one. This next one, this has to be my favorite so far. I love this one. The brochure stated, no hairdressers at the resort. We're trainee hairdressers, and we think they knew and made us wait longer for service.
Oh my god.
No. Let me explain, honey. Let me explain to you. No hairdressers at the resort means that there is no on-site hairdresser to do guest hair. It doesn't mean that hairdressers are forbidden from coming to the resort.
No, it just means if I wanted to get a haircut while I was there, I'm just fucked. I'd have to go off
I would
the
have
resort.
to actually leave the building and go to a proper hairdresser.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
That's all.
All that means. That's all it means. And
Uh.
speaking of making things a race issue, there were too many Spanish people there. The receptionist spoke Spanish. The food was Spanish. No one told us that there would be so many foreigners.
I'm willing to bet you are in Spain, and thus you're the foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Kat, you want to grab the next three?
We had to line up outside to catch the boat, and there was no air conditioning. Because obviously, whoever was providing this boat should have been trying to air condition the outdoors.
Yeah, I mean, even Disney and other parks where you have line queues outside, where they have like the fans trying to come down on you, that only does so much. This place probably didn't have that luxury, even.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know what? You're outside in nature. You just kind of have to deal with it for a little bit. There's not much they can do.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. It is your duty as a tour operator to advise us of noisy or unruly guests before we travel. Because I'm assuming all tour operators are psychic and will know in advance if there's going to be, say, drunk people or small children on your tour, and they should let you know in advance, hey, there's going to be some noise.
Speaking as somebody who has worked in the hospitality industry for a considerable amount of time, I'm like, dear God, we would love to know that.
Because we wouldn't show up for work.
We wouldn't show up for work, or we'd do something. We'd be able to do something about it, and
Yeah.
But guess what? We can't. We have no idea what's going to set somebody off.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think if we all knew that, we'd probably come armed with tasers, for the unruly adults. And if the kid gets too unruly and nobody's able to calm them down, we have little mini tasers for the kids. Not as strong, but strong enough to pacify them a little bit. You know.
Many tasers, for many things.
There you go.
Let's see. I was bitten by a mosquito. The brochure did not mention mosquitoes.
I suddenly just get this image of that Family Guy bit with Don Knotts. There's too many mosquitoes.
Oh, God.
Sure, sir, there wouldn't be any mosquitoes. But there's dozens of mosquitoes. I know, this is a terrible vacation.
Oh, you went to Louisiana. What did you expect?
Well, if it had been black flies, I would have been okay with it, but it was mosquitoes.
It's just, oh, goddamn. It's one of those things, I don't think they should have felt they needed to mention mosquitoes.
Because they're a part of nature. It's the equivalent of saying, well, I felt a nice, cool breeze, and nobody said there was going to be a breeze.
I mean, like I said, I've worked in hospitality, and there's specifically nearly a decade at Disney World, and yes, people have asked me, when are you guys going to make the rain stop?
Oh, that's still not as bad as somebody asking when the 3 o'clock parade is.
No, you get used to that. No, see, here's the thing. That one actually has some basis in logic. That's actually an unfair example because, quite honestly, yes, the parade may start at 3 o'clock at one end of the park. It might not be until 3:15 till it gets to where they are.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That can make sense, yes.
So the question sounds stupid, but it's not as stupid as it seems.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
And the last one I'll grab because, of course, I would.
This is price. Not as bad.
Because it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
No, honestly, I still think the no hairdressers at the resort tops this one, but it's still pretty good.
All right, number 19. My fiance and I requested twin beds when we booked, but instead we were placed in a room with a king bed. We now hold you responsible and want to be reimbursed for the fact that I became pregnant. This would not have happened if you had put us in the room that we booked.
So you're saying that your form of birth control, madam, is a 3-foot space between the bed you are in and the bed your fiancé is in.
Yeah, that doesn't... No. I have a feeling you two would have fucked anyway.
If you want it, you'll figure out a way to get it.
Oh, yeah. Believe me. And hey, with 2 twin beds, you could probably get some really, really, technical and complicated shit going on in there. If you try hard enough. So, in fact, twin beds might actually be more fun than having a king bed. I don't know.
Depends on if you can push them together or not, or if you could build some sort of fort.
There you go. Yay!
Fort sex, yes!
Fort sex! But see, I didn't go, sex in a fort. No, I'm actually picturing a fort named Fort Sex. We must protect Fort Sex. Ready the guns! They're gonna fire on Fort Sex! Man your battle stations! We need somebody at every outpost of Fort Sex!
There you go.
What are they... General, why are we defending Fort Sex? It's the nation's repository of sex toys, Private. Now get on that wall!
Wow, you're a private at Fort Sex.
Oh, God.
Show title right there, Defending Fort Sex.
There you go.
This remind me, if we ever have an episode where we have to talk about our favorite moment on the show, Fort Sex is it.
Yes. Fort Sex. Yes. Oh, God. Although, Erin, speaking of which, and we're going to wind down the show with this in part, there's actually somebody who listened to last week's show, and he quoted you with your keep gay Christmas in your heart all year round.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was awesome. I'm like, yeah.
We're messed up because we think of this shit. You guys are equally messed up for repeating what we say.
Yes.
And we love you for that.
We are not role models.
No.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not traditional ones, at least.
You shouldn't look up to us, but you should definitely share us with your friends.
Yes, definitely.
Don't quote us in front of your parents, but definitely tell all your friends.
Yes.
Fort Sex.
Fort Sex.
Yes.
Don't forget on that. We're making Fort Sex t-shirts. That's all there is to it.
Oh, Becky. Love. Okay, so with that, we do got to get out of here for this week. Oh my god, I'm glad we ended on that note.
Yep.
Oh, so if
most of the stories this week were just depressing.
oh yeah, so it's good that we had a little bit of extra
Time
to do the thing. So if we wanted to find Erin on the social medias, where could we find him?
You can find me on the social medias on Twitter at Shallow15. That's SHALLOW15. You can also find me on the YouTubes at 3 different locations, thanks to YouTube's idiotic copyright strike system. Thanks, YouTube. Again, youtube.com/DubiousKhan. That's KHAN. /Shallow15, that's Shallow15 with 1 L, and the up-and-coming one, which I'm currently building right now, Shallow15 Productions. Again, Shallow15 with 2 L's on that one. Also have a Tumblr page, notesfromtheidiotbox.tumblr.com, and of course you can find most of my stuff, any new stuff anyway, I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to putting up the backlog, at rtgomer.com.
Woot! Alright, and if we wanted to find Kat on the social media, where could we find her?
You can find me on Twitter at LabyrinthCat and Facebook.com/NerdistCat. And then you can find me on my other show. Hold on. I'm so used to doing the reading this off for Josh. It's you can find me over my other show, What the Fuck, which is over on the 1201 Beyond. 1201beyond.com. I'm so used to saying rtgomer.com. It's terrible. And my other show, Nerd to the Third Power, which is listed on Channel Awesome and This Week in Geek and YouTube and iTunes.
Sweet. And if you wanted to find me on the social media, you can find me on the Twitters and the Tumblrs and most everywhere else, and including Steam, I think, if you wanted to hop on that as well, at Gomer21XX. I do have my own Facebook page, Gomer the Ranting Thespian on Facebook, facebook.com/Gomer Ranting Thespian. There are 2 R's in there. They're not squished together or anything. Of course, my Patreon, which will be reiterated in the bumper as well, but that's patreon.com, Gomer/Gomer21XX. If you wanted to do that. And also, for Becky's artwork and everything, she has her own Patreon, patreon.com/BeckyHop. And I bring that up because she's revamped it to bring more of a focus to her webcomic Otherworldly, which of course is down there in the descriptions if you're watching this on the video sites or whatever. Both mine and her Patreon will be reiterated in the bumper as well. So that should be about it. And if you got any questions or anything, or things you want to send into the show, Thespian Talk does have its own Tumblr, thespiantalk.tumblr.com. Askbox is open, as you've seen, and we do welcome questions and comments and everything. And hey, if you send something in, we just might read it out on the show. That would be pretty cool.
Stop with the ridiculously long, unpronounceable words, please.
Yeah. Every now and then that would be all right, but not too often.
Unless they're in Japanese, and then I'm your girl. But otherwise, no.
Yes. So yeah. So well. Hey, if you got Japanese stuff you want to send them in for next week, because I think Kat's going to be back for then. So thank you guys for listening. We will catch you next time. And until then, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with the Cat and Erin Mills, aka DubiousKhan, signing off.
Thespian Talk is an RT Gomer Productions presentation. Our show's theme is Kick Shock by Kevin MacLeod. Find out more at Incompetech.com. If you like this show and want to help support future episodes, head over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX. For a contribution as little as $1 per production, you can get early access to all future productions, as well as monthly Patreon-only vlogs and announcements. Our show's artwork was produced by the talented Becky Hopkins, who can be commissioned by going to patreon.com/BeckyHop. Check us out on iTunes or visit rtgomer.com for more great shows.